I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful people all over the world. This is the Political Spotlight. I'm your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey, and it is a beautiful evening to be here with you. We are broadcasting live from the Lighthouse Studio. It is the 246th episode. The episode title is Meetings, Processes, and Election Integrity. We have a big, action-packed, massive show for you guys tonight. We've got a lot to cover, and I'm going to be getting through this in a way that you have not witnessed from me before. You'll have to tell me, do you like the way we normally do it? Or do you like the way we do it this evening? And we'll have to see. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for being here with us, whether you are watching on YouTube or X, Twitter, TikTok, or Facebook. We appreciate you being here. We know that you could be anywhere, and we appreciate you sharing your evening with us. We are generally live 5 nights a week, Sunday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, and we are thankful for your viewing, whether you watch live or on repeat. If you are watching live, we ask you to communicate with us. You can comment over here. That is the side where you can comment if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're watching at a later date, you can comment down here in the comment box. Again, if you're on YouTube, we'd ask you to hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, do so. You can subscribe for free. Once you hit the subscription button, it then allows you to set up the notifications by clicking the bell, and I would highly recommend you doing that because we go live at various other times outside of our evening live videos, as well as we drop shorts and static videos and other commentary and content as well in the community section. So I would highly recommend that. And then above all else, please help us spread the word, share the show with everyone you know. That would be very, very big of each and every one of you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so here's the deal. Tonight, we are going to be talking about government actions, some meetings, processes, and a lot of election integrity. And you might be like talking about like, wait, why? What? You know, the election, we're kind of right take two. We are smack dab in the middle of both of the elections. Well, that is true. However, there are goings on in Delaware County and Madison County, where both counties have just today been dealing with election issues as it relates to both the primary election and the election coming up in November. So we will be talking about that. We've got a couple different things to talk about. We will be bringing on a special guest here in just a little bit, but we do have to get through a couple of things first. So I just want to let you guys know, bright and early, right here at the beginning of the show. First off, I want to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, today, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern this morning, the United States government, it was the U.S. House Committee on Oversight and Accountability, I believe is the committee. It is the United States House of Representatives Committee on Oversight and Accountability. They held a hearing on the oversight of the United States Secret Service and the attempted assassination of President Donald J. Trump back on Saturday, July 13th, 2024. We live streamed the entirety of that committee meeting. It is 4 hours, 36 minutes, and 32 seconds long. And I watched every bit of it. I watched all 4 hours, 36 minutes, and 32 seconds. I would highly recommend you guys watch that. And the reason I want you to watch it, because, ladies and gentlemen, I have not seen in a very long time a more bipartisan effort of people on both the left and the right to inform a member of the government that they were dissatisfied with that person's performance. And while they both kind of would dive off in their sides, and, you know, the left would talk about gun control and the right would talk about, you know, its deal. For the most part, they were right down the center and saying, hey, we're not happy with what's going on. I would highly recommend it. Now, at the same time, it was a complete waste of time in the fact that director Cheadle basically was there to obfuscate. She didn't answer any questions. And the 4 hours, 36 minutes, and 32 seconds could have basically been boiled down to a good 15 minutes. I think if they would have gave 15 minutes and they would have had 2 or 3 or 4 congressmen ask her the series of questions, just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, it could have been done in 15 minutes and we could have got on with our lives. But it is a very intriguing watch. So if you have not had a chance to watch that, I highly recommend you watching it. It is on this channel. So that's the national news for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. The rest of the evening, we're going to be talking about local stuff. Oh, really quickly, one more thing. Where is Joe Biden? They put out the Twitter notice. They put up the Twitter notice, but Biden is nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be seen. People are now starting various conspiracy theories. Is he alive? Is he not alive? Is he sick? You know, what's going on there? They need to figure this out. They need to parade him out in front of us and let us know what's going on. I can't wait to hear from him. So we definitely need to hear him. I want to know what's going on. And I want to see what's going on there. We've got a really quick question that's very important. How could you answer questions when the investigation is ongoing? Listen, Tweety Bird, the thing is, as multiple of the congressmen were saying to her, we're 9 days. We're 9 days into this. There were several things that she was asked that we should know, that she should know, and that she should be able to convey. Matter of fact, one of the most important things happened towards the end, and I don't remember who it was, but they specifically got her to say that she had spoke to the FBI. The FBI conveyed, specifically, the question was, how many casings were found on the roof, on the roof where the shooter was, the assassin, the attempted assassin. And they asked her how many casings were up there. And she said that she had talked to the FBI, and the FBI had conveyed that number to her, but that she would not tell. She did not want to tell. And there were several questions and answers back and forth like that. So just a very interesting scenario. So if you have not watched it, you could go back and watch it. It was a special broadcast, very, very telling. And we're going to continue watching what goes on with that. We're going to continue watching what goes on with Biden's whereabouts and what's happening there. Kamala apparently talked at the White House today without Joe. Very strange situation, because just because she's the candidate running for president, he is still, quote unquote, technically the president. So we need to know what's going on. You know, that's where I stand on that. All right. So moving on from there, I want to let you guys know that, number one, we have a Delaware County Council meeting tomorrow morning. A Delaware County Council meeting that we are scheduled to be able to go to. The meeting, it's open to the public, and it is set for 9 a.m. This is going to be a very active council meeting. This meeting is an important meeting for people to watch. This meeting is going to be a very important meeting for people to, if you're there in person, it would be good. If you cannot be there in person, we will be live streaming the meeting from here. All right. At the same time as the meeting, actually half hour earlier at 8:30, the official recount in the at-large race for the county council will begin at the Delaware County building. It is also open tomorrow morning to the public. I will be there, and it's going to be a very interesting day. It is set to be a long day. They talked about the fact that it could very well be into the 10 or 11 o'clock p.m. before they get out of there tomorrow. They said it could be over 12, 13, 14-hour long day tomorrow. I hope it's not going to take that long, but that is a real possibility. And so I think that sorry, someone just sent me. Ladies and gentlemen, if you get commercials for the show, we have popped into a different category for advertisement here on the channel. Someone just sent me a message and said, "Why do I totally get commercials for your shit now?" So I just want to let you guys know, I apologize for that. It is what it is. Watch the commercial, and we will be on directly following the commercial. So that's that. We are going to take a look at the meeting today. There was a meeting of the Rules Committee. We are going to take a look at that meeting here in just a little bit and let you guys see what's all going on there. Tomorrow evening, we're going to be doing a rundown of what happened at the council meeting, what happened in the re-election, and we're gonna deconstruct all of that. Okay, it's very, very, very important, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. We will see what happens, and then America's councilman. So that's that. We also are going to be talking about an election board meeting that occurred in Madison County today. And for that, we're bringing on everybody's favorite, Dr. Katherine Callahan. You love her, you hate her, she's your favorite, she's your worst, you know, whatever, wherever you fall on Katherine, it's going to be a good time. So that's what's going on. And the person just said, if I knew you were going to say that aloud, I would have been more eloquent, asshole. So listen, it is what it is, folks. Hey, the other thing is, while we're talking about meetings and the like, there's then a board meeting, a board of works meeting at 9:00 Wednesday. There is a Muncie Sanitary District meeting Wednesday. There is a Henry County Commissioners meeting at 6 p.m. Wednesday, and then a Henry County Council meeting at 4 or 4:30 on Thursday. So there is a lot going on, and we're going to try to cover all of it for you. So bear with us, and we will get to it. While I am waiting to do this, real quick, I want to put out this is a very important PSA. I've got to the age where, besides waking up to pee in the middle of the night, I also am dealing with, that was a joke. I'm still not there yet. About every other night. I thought that this was just with my grandparents. My mother calls me on the phone and is freaking out. Something's going on. Something's going on. We've just got a call. And our credit card company is telling us that her and my stepfather's cards have been compromised. They're compromised, and we've got to do this. And it has been a massive disaster. Okay. After finding out what my mother was saying, only then did I realize that it wasn't my parents calling the bank. It was a number that called my parents. And for whatever reason, my mother gave them the Social Security, dates of birth, address, parents' middle name, parents' maiden name. So I'm just letting you guys know, after I took care of that issue, folks, do not ever give anyone that calls you shit. Say, okay, thank you. I'm going to hang up and I'm going to call back. And literally, I was talking to the guy and I was like, I'm going to call and tell me your name and I'll ask for you. And he got real shitty with me. I hung up on him and he just kept calling back. Instead, I just called Citibank. I took care of the problem, but it has been a disaster. So just a friendly PSA. If someone calls you on the phone and starts asking you information about your credit card, about the last 4 digits of your Social Security number, the bank, utilities, internet, they are never going to do that, folks. They are never going to do that. Just a reminder. Just thought I'd put that out there. It's very important that everybody knows. We're looking out for you here. All right, without further ado, we're going to go ahead And we're going to go on here and we're going to bring the doctor up. But if I call you for your phone number, give it to me. Yeah, right.
I want you to be thinking about Joe Biden. So
yeah, right.
There. My conspiracy theory on Joe Biden is that they're just going to give him too much medicine. They're going to say he died in his sleep. Nobody's going to know the difference because of his age. And Kamala will be the president. She will be the incumbent. They think that'll give her an upper advantage, which I don't think that will, but that's just the reality of, I think, what's going to happen. So we'll just have to wait and see how this plays out.
Yeah, I think that is a very good possibility. I hope they don't do that. Look, I don't like the man. I don't want him to die. I think what they're doing to him is elder abuse. I think it's disgusting. I think it's sad. And you know, to hell with those people. Shame on them for what they're doing. I hope they don't do that. But, you know, it just makes you wonder, like, what all of a sudden the dude was like, no, we're going to campaign all the way through, like, as of like 11 o'clock on Sunday. And then at like 1:30, they're like, okay, I'm out, you know? So it's like, well, what's going on here? So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I can't wait till we see him speak again. I'm looking for him speak. I want to see him speak. Until I see that, I'm afraid that they have whacked him. So we'll have to see. I don't know.
I think they'll keep him pretty hidden now.
Yeah. So, hi, how's it going? We've got some craziness going on in Delaware County. We've had a couple things going on today. We've got a couple things going on tomorrow, but you had an event going on in your neck of the woods today too. Also kind of not a recount per se, but you had some complaints and some issues with the election board. And so tell me what that was about.
I want to start off first with what I want people to watch in this video. Now, yesterday I received a call that Marquest Higgins was being challenged, and Brandon Collins was being challenged. I believe Brandon is running for, and I hope I got his name right, for county council at large on the Libertarian ticket. Marquest is running District 2 for commissioner against Ollie Dixon, who's the Democrat, and Rick Gardner, who is the Republican.
Okay.
They were being challenged by Rick and Todd for not giving, I guess, enough leeway on time of notification or something to that effect, something just crazy off the wall. So I posted my previous experiences of Linda Smith not following Indiana code. She can't seem to read very accurately, that you have to initial. And even though the ex-Senator Lannon said, this Katherine's correct, I'm going to vote her way. And then Russ and Linda vote by not following Indiana code. The whole thing is just kind of a disaster in the making. So as we fast forward, suddenly last night, after I posted all this, about close to 9 o'clock, the two men get a call saying their cases are being dismissed. They don't need to show up today.
Isn't that interesting?
So how did you come to that conclusion? Did you guys have a quorum? Or was it that Russ called Linda and then Russ called Terry and then he just told them how they were going so we could be under that technicality of we didn't have a quorum? Because I don't know how you came to that ruling. I mean, obviously charges were filed. So you notified them on Friday, and you'll hear me talk about this. That notification wasn't given at that 48-hour mark. So they notified them Friday morning. You can't include Saturday or Sunday in the 48-hour mark. So then this morning around 9 o'clock, Rob Joswiak gets a call from the election division.
Now, tell everybody, because you and I know who these people are and we talk, but for the people who don't know who he is, tell everybody who he is.
So Rob ran for mayor of Anderson in 23. He only lost by 3 votes. And so Rob has been a long-time person in politics. He's run for many different positions. He's served our country. You know, he's done a lot of things, good things. And so he wanted to bring his child to show him how the election process started as a 4-year-old. Why not start him young?
Absolutely.
Rob shows up election night of the primary, and they refuse to allow him entry into the building. Now, what I'm saying to you is entry into the building. So be
Into the
mindful of that.
entire building, that the doors, and there's actual video of this. They would
Yes.
not allow him into the whole building.
Yes. Goes on for like a 5-minute discussion with Russ and the officers, and Russ is just absolutely refusing to allow him in, saying he had to have these credentials. So Rob gets a call this morning at 9 o'clock saying he doesn't need to come. They're going to issue a letter. Now, is anybody paying attention? Does anybody even remotely say, how has the election board come to this agreement? Because it appears that either Russ is just running the show, dictating what he's going to do, or people are meeting and people are making decisions without doing it in front of public areas. So this is going to be real interesting. So I can't wait for you to jump into this video. I don't know if Kate has the picture of the Indiana code that I sent her, 3-12-4-6, section 6, subsection B. This is the Indiana code that is being this is the code that's being challenged. You see here it says canvassing must be performed in public. In public. And so that is what Rob Joswiak was denied. And so we're going to watch how Russ explains as to why he was denied this access. And you guys, I'm just sitting there shaking my head this whole time. So I want to know how Russ decided to issue something to Rob before the meeting ever took place.
Yeah, that's a good question. I know Russ. I'm not a big fan of Russ. I think that Russ has a lot of issues, as we do in Delaware County and pretty much everywhere else throughout East Central Indiana and beyond. But this is a good question. Now before we get into this, do we actually have the video so we could show the public of the actual of Rob being blocked at the door? Could maybe we start with that? Is that all right?
Yeah, let me send you that. That was quite epic as well. So
I think maybe we could just play a moment or two of that, and that would give people an understanding of what's happening. Because let me be clear. When I go to the Delaware County building or the Henry County building, or hell, I've been to Madison County when they've been counting, when they've been on election night before. And I've walked in unbothered, unmolested, unhampered. No one's ever came and said, "Oh, you can't be in here." So I don't understand why all of a sudden they would do something like that.
because you won't lie and say what he was doing was wrong over there. So he's going to hide all this. So wait, I've given Kate the video of Rob. This is on election night, going up there with his child. He's not deranged. He's not angry. He just wants to have access. So Kate's got that video.
Where did you send it to?
I sent it to our messenger. But I also want people to know there's another law that's out there, that home rule does not supersede Indiana code.
Right.
But and this was just put up in February of 24, but Russ and Linda always do whatever they want to do. And wait till you hear how many times they say tonight in this election board hearing, well, we just didn't know. Well, obviously you people did, because you've made up rules as you've gone along, but they've got to follow Indiana code. Just so everybody is clear, you will wait in anticipation all the way to the end to see what the vote was. Russ got so flustered he adjourned the meeting. They didn't take a vote.
Oh God, go figure.
Here's Rob coming in.
Okay, so this is May 7th, 2024. This is 47 minutes after the polls have closed.
This is the front door to the county building.
Yep, this is the Madison County Justice Center.
So he's trying to put his stuff through. I mean, he's putting it on the belt. He's thinking, "Hey, I get to go in here." There should be sound.
Yeah. Yeah, it shows it's X'd down there.
Can Kate click on it and make it have sound?
I know what that is.
And this child was so well behaved the whole time. Now, behind this partition, and we have another angle, but we don't have it right now. It's Russ Willis who comes over here and debates with Rob.
Yep. Your mama here? The vote is supposed to be out in full public view.
Out in public view.
Yeah, I want to see if we got access to the vote now. You have credentials? Yeah, I'm citizen.
Have to have credentials.
Okay, you're in violation of state law. You have right full public view of the election. And it's tabulated. We are supposed to, we the people. The people. We're supposed to have full access. You have to have credentials before. No, I got credentials. I'm a citizen. Sorry, Rob. I mean, I just want to see if you're in violation of state law. So he's not allowed to be in. Russ is kicking me out right now. No, I mean, that's a violation of state law. Absolute violation of state law. You don't have to have credentials. The people should be allowed to see the tabulation. I knew they were, I knew. Yeah, that's funny though. I mean, what's in it? I'm definitely good at this. I mean, I'm just for the future. I mean, we're curious if they were violating law. They're actually violating. No idea what
Now look at this guy coming in. Does he have a badge on? Does she have a badge on? Does she have credentials?
What I call them. Okay, now we know.
This is very important. Do they have badges on? Look at that. Does he show him some ID? Did he show some ID? Do they get to walk right in?
Boys are always falling for Ophelia. She's a handy one.
Obviously, I mean, I would say that the two people coming in at the end obviously had vote material they were turning back in, but that's not even
make a box, and I'm gonna walk in there with some props.
Yeah, but that's not even. Listen, I've been in that very building. I almost came in May. I almost went there in May, but matter of fact, May was the first time I didn't go in about 4 years. I've been at every election since like around the 2020, 2019, somewhere 2020 period. So I don't understand why all of a sudden this is a thing. So nobody is allowed in there unless you are part of the vote process.
Who's running the show? The clerk?
Yeah.
Or Russ Willis?
Well, that's...
Now, Kate, do you have that picture? Why they didn't go get the clerk for this? Because she would have been the deciding factor. I don't understand.
She's the chief of the elections, and that's who needs to be handling this.
She's standing right there. Now look at the guy in the plaid over by the doors. Do you see a badge on him?
Nope.
I mean, right here on the other side of the yellow shirt, that is the chief deputy clerk or whatever you want to call her, Linda's right-hand person. Looks like they're all just hanging out, having a good time. Why isn't anybody questioning this?
Yeah, that's really
I mean, this is at
really
7:13
interesting.
in the evening.
Yeah, this is a big problem. So okay, so because of this, what happened?
So so Rob had to leave. So let's play it doesn't even take us 90 seconds to get into what Russ is saying. Just play the clip that from the video from today that I took.
From today. Okay, I'm getting ready to play that now. All right, here we go. I'll pull that up.
I had a little technical difficulties. You all know that I'm not the master of cameras here.
Okay. So here we are. Here we go.
Watching voter canvassing on primary night, and he was turned away at the front door. The statute that covers that is 312.4.6, and under section 6, subsection B, it says the canvassing must be reported, and under section 6 that covers that is 312.4.6, and under section 6, subsection B, it says the canvassing must be reported to safeguard the material. And as an overview, for decades, media and public have been allowed in the area in front of the treasurer's office to watch what goes on as the receiving teams come in, and as the receiving teams take the inspectors and judges who are bringing the ballots in, they make sure that they brought all the materials and the ballots and all the e-poll books and all the election materials that need to be returned. And then that stuff's moved to the room 108 where it's inventoried. And then for many, many years, the ballots then were taken across the hall and the machines tallied them. Last year, that equipment was moved to the second floor and people were allowed to go up and watch that. We only had one person who did that. So there is access for the public to watch. But as the statute says, the board may restrict access to the parts of the room where the election material is being handled or transported. And one of the comments was that many people were seen in the building that evening, and those were the judges and the inspectors and the election board and the receiving team that they probably saw down the hallway moving those materials. So we will issue a full reply to Mr. Jones.
Okay, but
so this is the beginning of the meeting. He's going to issue a full reply.
Yeah, right. Without any kind of they've not heard from anybody. No one's testified.
Here's the big thing. The biggest thing was he wasn't allowed in the building.
Yeah,
I don't know why Russ is off on a different tangent.
Right. So that's the thing. Indiana Code 312.4.6 says at 6 p.m. on each election day, the county election board shall assemble a room to canvass the certificates, poll lists, tally papers returned by each inspector in the county, and to declare the results of the election as provided in this chapter. The canvassing must be performed in public under 514.1.5. However, the board may restrict access to parts of the room where the election material is being handled or transported to safeguard the materials. Except as provided in Section 7 of this chapter, the county executive shall provide a room in the courthouse that contains adequate space to permit members of the public to witness the canvassing of votes. So how does what Russ did with Rob, how does what Russ did with Rob that night jive with what I just read to you? How does that? I don't understand. I don't understand. I can't
And this
comprehend
is
it.
Russ's MO. Let's take you down this rabbit hole that has nothing to do with what actually occurred. The bottom line is you didn't let him in the building. You are in violation. You've committed a level 6 felony. You know what this is really going to get down to? What this is really going to get down to is does our clerk have any type of integrity, morals, or ethics? On top of that is if they find some crazy way to get out of it, which Linda was really starting to grasp at straws. If they don't give this to the prosecutor and the prosecutor doesn't do anything, is it going to be the fact that the attorney general has to step in once again because this is how corrupt we're going to see how deep the corruption is in Madison County. That's what we're going to see from all of this. And I just got to tell you, you know, I don't know how much you guys want to listen to this, but the fact that he's going to issue a full reply without listening to anybody. So watch what happens here in just a second. And as soon as Russ speaks, go to the 3-minute and 57 mark.
Okay. So we're just going to hit play for right now, right?
Yeah. It's going to be like 2 seconds and then go to the 3:57.
Okay.
Joe's react in a letter, but there is public access to watch the canvassing. Do you have anything else you want to add to that, Robert?
Absolutely.
And then you can just scoot to 357 because he doesn't say he's getting a bunch of documents together to pass out. So you go to 357 and then Rob begins to speak. Now, there's a case in another part of Indiana who had this situation.
Okay.
And they found in favor of the people. So that's what he distributed to them.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, on May 7th, 2024, at approximately 6:48 p.m., I visited Madison County Government Center located here at 16th East 9th Street in Anderson, Indiana, 46016, with my 4-year-old son, and we came in to watch the canvassing of votes for the 2024 primary election. Like other Madison County residents, I remain concerned about election integrity. And in this county, I wanted to watch the votes counted. And the reason I'm worried about election integrity is just what's happened in the past. Last year's primary election, I came up 3 votes short, and it was kind of perplexing a little bit. And, you know, I mean, this is off the record, a conversation, election room with Mary Rutherford. She said there was 37, 32, 33 votes that, you know, were missing in the absentee ballots, were missing proper initials, and they were not they weren't certified properly. And she told me I need to get a lawyer, but she said it probably would be cleaned up before, you know, we got to any recount. So she said it's probably just a waste of our money, but, you know, it's election integrity. You know, we're worried about the election integrity, and, you know, that was our first incident. And then today, you know, when we're talking about libertarians being removed from the ballot in 2015, I was removed from the ballot, and it was directory administrative law. I mean, it's not bound with latches, unlike what you do here today. And as election board members, you're part of the court system, and what you do is bound by latches but it's statutory consequences. But what we were doing and what the libertarians were doing at that time in 2015, almost 9 years ago, we were criminally removed. It was a criminal civil rights violation, and you know, nothing will ever be done about it. It wasn't reported in the newspaper. There was a lot of things that were alarming, and it's kind of alarming today that would be revisiting it again. But all I wanted to do is watch the votes be counted in order to set my mind at rest.
and that the process was being done properly and fairly. And that was why I came up with my son. I kind of wanted to see how far we were removed from what, because I haven't been playing an active role in watching what was going with elections, and there have been a lot of concern about election integrity. And, the state election board had brought it to our attention that Madison County was not operating properly as far as, counting the ballots in full public view and restricting access to the room. So that's why I was there. After entering the building, I was met by a sheriff's deputy at the security area. I informed the deputy of my intent to watch the canvassing activities. From my vantage point, I could see a lot of people coming and going, not a lot, but a couple people coming in. And, so the deputy informed me that the building was closed. I informed the deputy that I had a right to be there and to see the canvassing activities pursuant to Indiana code. Realizing we were at an impasse, the deputy left to find somebody of authority and found Madison County Republican Party Chairman Russ Willis. Russ came out to the security area where I was being forced to wait. I once again expressed my intention to watch the canvassing of votes, and Russ Willis denied me access to the building. This interaction can be seen.
And for those that are watching, keep in mind that the complaint by this citizen is basically filed against Russ Willis, and it's Russ Willis who is the president of this body. So, like, imagine, if you will, for a second, that you get pulled over by a police officer, and a police officer says, "Oh, hey, you had some cocaine on you, and I'm going to arrest you. I'm also going to be your prosecutor. I'm going to be the judge, and I'm going to be the jury." That's what we've got with Russ here. The complaint's against Russ, but Russ is not worried because Russ is also the man hearing the complaint. So,
and so on the right,
go ahead,
is Linda Smith, the clerk,
yeah,
the elected clerk.
Then there's Russ,
who's a
and then
Republican.
here's the elected clerk.
And then this is the Democrat chair, Terry Austin. She used to be a state rep for a long time. Yep. She is sitting in for ex-Senator Lanane to hear this today. Yep. Now, I also want to tell you, be mindful, all of this that Rob is doing was submitted to them in advance. The only thing that he gave them new was the case that they found in Indiana. So, and they're going to tell you that they didn't have this information, but I'm telling you they did.
All right, here we go.
Okay, just one thing, guys, real quick.
Yeah.
We're getting some people in the comments who are saying that they're turning up the volume on the video to listen to it, and then when you come in and talk, it's a bit jarring for them.
Okay.
So if you can
do that,
give like a stop the video and do like a 3-second or something, just so we're not blasting people's ears out.
Yeah, we'll do that thing that we normally do. All right, here we go with the video.
Security footage I provided with my complaint. This footage was provided by Madison County in response to Sean Smith's records request. I am providing to each of you the affidavit from Mr. Smith attesting that he requested the security footage and that he was provided it in response to a records request he submitted to Madison County. I've provided you again a copy of the affidavit. When Russ Willis denied me access to view the canvassing of votes, he violated Indiana Code 31246, which Russ did, admit and, or discuss with you his interpretation, but which requires members of the public to be allowed to witness the canvassing of the votes and not restrict the entire room. You can have a small place, but we were not allowed to see anything. Russ's denial of my access to the canvassing is also a violation of the open door law. In 2018, the Public Access Counselor issued an opinion in Rebecca White versus Washington County Election Board, and I provided you that, regarding election night canvassing of votes. In opinion, the Public Access Counselor makes clear the entry of election night is a continuous public meeting beginning at 6 p.m. and continuing until all votes are canvassed. I have provided you a copy again of this opinion. The The personal statements I have made today, along with the security video provided by Madison County in response to Mr. Smith's records request, are evidence of Russ Willis's violation of both Indiana election law and the open door law, in which this occurred on May 7th, 2024. Pursuant to the 2024 Indiana Election Administrators Manual, if the county election board believes that an act consists or will consist of an election violation, the board may take whatever action it deems proper under the circumstances. And I mean, obviously, there was this violation. This includes referring the matter to the Attorney General, which I think needs to be done for civil action, or the county prosecuting attorney for criminal prosecution. And I think it should be referred. When Russ Willis kept me from viewing the canvassing on the vote on May 7, 2024, he omitted to perform his duties required under election laws, Indiana Codes 27114, which I'm provided to you, and 514392. They both show that members of the county election board are public officials as defined by Indiana law. Russ Willis's denial of my access to publicly view the canvassing on May 7th, 2024 is a level 6 felony, which is serious. Which subjects a person up to 2.5 years imprisonment and a $10,000 fine, or both upon conviction. And I really do think this, if we're about election integrity, and if you believe in election integrity, I think you need to refer this, vote for election integrity today, that there was a violation. And I think it does need to be referred to the prosecutor and the Attorney General. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
All right. Hopefully you have a second there to turn your volume down. So he's said what he's had to say, and I imagine we're getting ready to hear some amazing information from Russ. So I don't know what say you about that, Catherine? I mean,
So Russ goes on. It gets a little. I don't know what minute mark you were at. Were you at the 12-minute mark?
I'm at 11:48.
So at the 12-minute mark, Russ, listen to what Russ and I don't even know why we went off on this dark hole, because he wasn't allowed access. But you gotta listen to Russ say, well, you didn't have any credentials. And then you listen to Linda Smith say, well, you gotta have these badges. Well, okay. Do you know that I was running late? I ran into this thing. That's why I went to the camera. So I've got the chief deputy for the clerk's office standing on top of me. I'm barely in my seat. You got to sign this. You got to sign this form right now. You got to sign in. You got to be here. Thinking to myself, why do I have to sign this thing to be sitting here?
Well, first of all, you don't. I don't sign the thing when I go there.
Yeah, so I just
tell
put
her
some
my
chicken scratch down. She wouldn't even be able to see my name.
Yeah.
So, and so Russ goes on, and then Linda, she tries to back him up. I mean, it gets out of control here. So listen to this.
All right, here we go. Turn them up, folks. Here we go.
Access is allowed, as I outlined moments ago.
No, it's not.
And it will continue to be allowed.
Review the video
Further,
from
the
election night.
15-minute passes were issued in 2023. People were outside the actual election counting room on the second floor, and they observed it the whole time. There is access. You did not have credentials that evening from the clerk to observe, and hopefully you'll have those secured,
You don't have to have
or we
credentials.
can provide those in the fall.
Mhm.
We're Americans.
We have to get credentials.
We're the people.
We the people. That's right.
Mm-mm.
The public does not require credentials.
No, they
We
don't.
were born with
We do not have to have that. you cannot violate us or restrict our access. So that's what the law states, and
Yep.
you did that. Thank you.
We provide the credentials. There's no restriction.
You
We
restricted
have to
me.
know who is in the area watching.
Our forefathers
but
Well,
you
registered
restricted,
voters.
correct?
And you knew
Registered
who he
voters.
was,
It's a
correct?
violation of Indiana law, Russ.
Yes.
You're wrong.
Okay.
Mr. Joseph, I need to ask you some questions.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get a picture of this. So you came into the courthouse down here at the security entrance, correct?
Correct.
Is that where you were detained
Yes.
at the security entrance?
Correct.
By the sheriff's deputy who was on duty to monitor access to the building?
And you have a video of that too.
Yes. So did you have a chance to see any of the canvassing at all?
I was denied entry. I requested it more than once, and I specifically stated that we had legal access to this, and we had a right by Indiana state law to view this,
Right.
and we were denied access.
Have you done this before?
If I
Have
come
you
in-
ever come in to watch the canvassing
Well,
as a member of the
the
public?
state election board, they specifically stated to us that Madison County is not in compliance with state election law.
Who in the elections
This
board?
was like 20 years ago, and it was, or like 16 years ago, and it was the Republican attorney.
Okay, okay. Do you have anything in writing on that?
No, I do not.
Okay. So you could not see any of the activity that was going on, and I think it's in room 108?
Russ Willis denied me access to the building, and I explained to him about the state election law, that we had a right to come in and see it. And the video is provided. You
Okay,
can see the interaction, and I came in and I asked to see the canvassing. I was just curious. I mean, how far out of compliance are we in Madison County?
sure.
And I found out we're probably in the worst state of non-compliance in this situation that we've ever been in, in compared to how maybe we were 15 years ago.
So I'm going to ask you, would you agree that we need to protect access to the ballots as well, though? It's a rhetorical question. I
Yes, and
understand.
that is allowed within the law, but you
Yes.
have to allow us in the room. And we don't have to be anywhere close to it. And it should actually not be done the way it's been set up and the way it's been done. It's completely out in violation of state law, because the public does not have any access to the room whatsoever unless, you get pre-approved, I guess, is what your compromise is, but that's not what the law says. The public doesn't need to have your pre-approval.
Right.
We need to have full public access, and Russ is in violation of the law. And this is not a directory administrative situation. This is, you have certain requirements as an office holder, and they have not been met.
Let me offer just a clarification for you from my interpretation. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you can be in the room where the ballots are, as long as you can watch the process that's going on through a doorway, a window,
Or on
some blocked
video,
off area.
Full video. I mean, we have
Live streaming could work.
broadcast,
Yes, absolutely.
We would like to see full live stream of the ballots all the time. I mean, we think there's too many opportunities where the ballots are unsecured.
Okay.
And we need election integrity, and that's what this is about. I mean, you have certain requirements as an office holder that need to be met, and you're in violation here. I mean, the laws are right there for you to look at, and he violated Indiana state law, and there's really no excuse for it. He knew who I was. He should have allowed me in. Period.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I have a comment for you, and I don't know, Rob, if we've already discussed this or not, but I believe that you are aware that we have an observer badge, is what we call it, that is provided from our election room for the public. We have established protocol with that badge that a person who has been given that, typically on election day, can come in and they do have access to view the votes being tabulated. That I've been clerk for a year and almost 8 months. So last year's election, I know that we had an observer that had that badge, and that person was allowed to stand in the room to watch the canvassing of votes. So as far as us not having properly established a method for that to happen for the public, I can tell you, yes, we do have a method, and we were prepared on election day for this past primary to do it again. So I'm not sure where all the wires got crossed, but the protocol had been established. And yes, you should have been given access to be able to see that.
Thank you.
Thank you, yes.
Right, and I wasn't given access.
That's right. So
So,
somebody
for
broke the
the
law.
sake of election integrity, I was a member of the public. I should have been given one of those badges. I should have been allowed to witness, and that was restricted, and it's a violation of law. It is a level 6 felony.
That's right.
And
Yes.
it should be referred to the prosecutor's office, and it should be referred to the attorney general.
Yes.
Thank you.
The only other thing that I would have to add, in order to have any sense of protocol, it is our responsibility to know who's in the building, okay? We wouldn't be doing our job if we didn't know everyone was accounted for. And that's why, even when Mary Rutherford was here, she made sure that me, the clerk, had a yellow colored badge. We may have to change the color now. Had a yellow colored badge. It was color coded so that anyone would know when you encountered someone in a hallway, if they had proper credentials, that's what we called them, to be in the building. So,
And can I offer a comment though?
sure.
There's a big difference between the public being required to get an observer badge prior to the election canvassing taking place and making it available when somebody shows up at the door and says, I'm here under Indiana Code 31246. I'd like to watch the canvassing of ballots. At that point, you have a stack of observer badges ready and you hand them out.
Yes.
Yes.
And you can designate
go.
an area
Yes,
where
exactly.
people need to be,
Right.
but like, just don't clap, don't clap. Go ahead.
That's all I'm supposed to do.
There's an area that people need to be, and I will fight to the death to protect the access of a limited number of people in the room because that's where the
Yeah.
ballots are. But giving people a chance to watch is one, it's our responsibility
Yes.
under the
Right.
law, not prior to authorization. That's
Right.
inside baseball.
That's right.
That's right,
Yes.
yes.
And if I indicated it was prior authorization, then I don't believe that I said that. So I did not say that.
No, you didn't say that.
Okay.
It can be interpreted that you have to get a badge
Yes.
before you're eligible to be a
Yes.
observer.
As they
And
come
that's
in,
not, yes.
as they come in, they are given an area to where they can line up, and that badge is passed out. And those
Then
people
why
are
wasn't it
They have to
offered
show
to
ID,
this
right?
where they're
gentleman?
supposed to be.
Do they have to show an ID or can we just walk in?
I think they should have to show an ID.
Probably show an ID, and that we have a situation, and we're gonna try and work through this in a better way. There's always room for improvement, right?
Yeah.
So
Starting
it
with
is
charges.
important in our world that people go through the security
Yes.
machines out here, okay?
Absolutely.
So then we have our inspectors, clerks or judges, the two bipartisan group that brings those transfer cases back to the courthouse. Also going through that same area. So do we need to do a better job of making sure that we have designated lines, you know, who's on this side, so that we have a clear way to monitor? Absolutely. And we will do a better job at that. And I've already apologized to you, Rob, personally,
It's not
that
close.
that happened to you. And we're going to make sure that we have a better system in place.
All right, you ready? Here we go. So number one, man, Russ cannot like what's going on now. Russ has got to have a major issue because they're kind of sticking it up his ass a little bit here. Like he cannot like what they're doing. Like this is making him look like a fool. Number two, I totally disagree with her. You do not have to show ID. They cannot force you to show ID. This is not the election. We're not voting. This is a public building. You don't have to show, get out the papers to enter into this building. You don't have to show ID. You can go, and if they want to give you a little, first of all, quit calling it a badge. A badge is a metal thing that says police or deputy. It is an ID card or a piece of paper that has information on it. Okay, an ID card. They have an ID card, whatever, and they can give that out to whoever. That's stupid in and of itself. Let it be like it's always been. This is ridiculous. I like that she's apologizing to him and all of this.
Now, I want everybody to be clear. The clerk admits that the violation took place.
Yeah.
She just admitted it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why they can't vote on this. Now, I want to give people a little bit of a snapshot. Kate, I just sent you some still pictures. This is what Rob could see when he was standing in the security area. He could see down this hallway. I sent him to her in Messenger. I want to show you what it looked like inside of the building.
Okay, while she's putting those up, I do want to correct the comment. I do want to correct the comment here. Someone has said that they thought that Russ had been in trouble at some point and was reformed. I think that you're mixing up Russ for Rodney Cummings, the prosecutor. I think that's who you're probably talking about. It's a real famous story. Rodney Cummings, when he was a younger kid, had been involved with some people, and he got caught up in a thing where he burglarized a home to steal some coins, and he was arrested for felony burglary and felony theft. He was prosecuted and yada, yada, yada. He had a felony. He was trying to reform himself. He got into boxing. When he was boxing at the POW Club, the police athletic club. He became friends with a bunch of cops. They said, hey, you need to try out and be a cop. He didn't tell them that he had a felony. They found that out, and they helped him get expunged. He became a cop. He was a cop, yada, yada, yada. Went to law school, and he's now the elected prosecutor of Madison County. I think that's who you're talking about. While I believe that, Russ is a piece of crap, and more than likely, I think a lot of what he does is criminal. I think a lot of what he does is shady. He, to my knowledge, has never been arrested, never been charged. I don't know of any criminal actions he's actually ever been prosecuted for or anything like that. So he's definitely not reformed.
Right. So here is what it kind of looks like. Okay. Can you tell if everybody's got? Go to the next picture, Kate. Now, this is County Councilman Rob Steele.
Yeah.
Where's his identification at?
And he's got no identification,
right?
No badge.
I mean, because he's Rob Steele. We know who Rob Joswiak is. He's been doing politics for a long time. Let's go to and you got Russ right there with his arm. Oh, look, there's Russ right there policing everything, where he was sitting there talking to Joswiak. Now he's sitting there talking to Rob Steele. And people are just kind of hanging out, hanging loose. So why couldn't Rob have gone into this area?
Yeah, look at this. Look at this really secure, really important area. Look at this.
Now, here's what I got to ask you. Are we supposed to transport these ballots by ourselves? I'm assuming this is a minor.
No.
Right? This is a minor with ballot box. And oh, by the way, this guy in the suit, that's Judge Kyle Noon. Shouldn't he know how this process works?
Yeah, right.
And nobody questions this. But this is what, there's Russ. He's just hanging out. As a matter of fact, I don't know if we can zoom in on that picture. He's talking to Lannon right there is who he's talking to.
Oh, yeah. I can see that's
Right over there in the corner.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's got a badge on. Let me blow that picture up on my phone just a little bit and see if, does he have a badge on?
Yeah, I think so. I think he probably would. Oh, yeah, because he's the election board. So, yeah, he would be there.
Well, doesn't he have a have a badge on?
He would probably have a yellow piece of tab
Yeah, I don't think
paper the
he's
same
got
way.
one on.
He might. It kind of looks like he's got one on the left side of him.
Okay, yeah, he's got. Okay, so he's got one in. So what about the lady in the stairwell?
Yeah.
I don't see a badge
No.
on her.
No, she's probably one of the inspectors or judges, but yeah.
Now I know all of you think that I just have this, thing about Rob Steele, but there's one more picture. Did it come up? Do you have it there? Kate, I'll send it to you. This one, this is probably the one that I'm not sure why everybody's acting like they didn't know what was going on with Joswiak, because it was the talk of the talk. So this picture that I'm sending Kate now, just in case nobody believes that Rob Steele made it into the area without a badge, here's a picture for you. And then see if you notice any similarities of who might be in this picture who was sitting on the election board.
Okay, so Rob Steele's
Rob.
the guy there in the
Got no badge
blue
on.
jeans and the beige shirt.
The lady in the black jacket has no badge on.
Yeah.
Terry's there. I mean, yep, the guy over there in the green doesn't have anything on. I mean, I don't know, and I'm not picking on anybody, but I'm so sick and tired of the lying. I'm just done with it. Right here shows you the line of crap that we listened to this afternoon. Russ is in violation. He should be charged, he should be arrested, and he should be removed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just one of those things, but he was denied, they go on and they talk, he should have been given access. I don't know how far along we got in that, but go to the 2256 mark on that video and listen to Russ.
2256.
Uh-huh.
We're 2250. All right, folks, turn it up. We're going to stop talking for a second. Turn it up.
Badge, why'd you restrict my access?
Frankly, I was not aware of this badge system to be issued at the front door. It's always been back here in this area.
20 years.
I was not aware of that.
20 years.
Well, you've been up here for a long time.
Again, it was a change.
You said it
How
happened
long
in
has the
23
change
and
been
24.
going on? I mean, it's been a long time. I mean, I just found, I was restricted that night. It's a violation of the law. I mean, it's a level 6 felony.
Exactly.
I've provided you with all the proof, and, we've had plenty of time to make sure that we have election integrity, and there's a lot of people that are concerned.
Yes.
And for a lot of reasons. And this just happens to be something that can be proven. You were in violation, you restricted access, and I'm part of the public.
Yes.
That's why I'm here today. Thank you.
So let me offer a suggestion. Would you please submit
Kristopher, jump to 25.
your suggestions for how we improve public access? Just their suggestions, but I'd like to get your perspective on what we can do to make it so that we don't find ourselves in that situation again. And I need to ask you to submit it in writing so that it can be shared with people.
Well, today I have submitted a lot of stuff in writing for you. And this is a suggestion. If you want election integrity, you've got to vote for election integrity.
Exactly.
And today we have proof that the law was violated. And there's no, there's no really disputing it. And we'd like to see some repercussions and consequences for illegal activity.
Yes.
That would make us more comfortable with election integrity.
But do you also want to see improvements going forward?
I think that there's lots of ways we can improve it, and I'm more than willing to help.
That'd be great. Thank you.
The improvements start with everybody knowing that you're going to do what you need to do when the law is broken.
We will review the information that Mr. Joswiak has provided to us and determine if there's any action to be taken.
Where's the vote?
What
This
can
time, I
I'm
would
saying that. Where's the vote?
we can't vote today?
accept the motion to adjourn.
When will we be
Whether or
reconvening?
not something happens to him? Is that what I'm hearing? I don't know.
When will
Really?
this reconvene?
We need to
They
vote
should call the sheriff
today.
for what? They should call the sheriff like they don't need felony.
It's a felony.
Yeah.
Maybe the sheriff should be here to take you into custody.
Who's gonna have faith in our voting system when you can't even control the people that have been here
Let's,
20 years?
let's give a date certain for the findings to be submitted and published, and then
What findings?
reconvene to accept
The
it.
findings are here.
Didn't he already submit it?
So that folks have some sense of closure on this. I think that's the best approach, quite honestly,
Did they get this?
rather than just say we're gonna end our meeting and leave this hanging. We need to give folks some clarity on what's gonna transpire, but we are interested in improving going forward. So if you have suggestions, please submit them to the clerk via the county election board, and those will be taken under consideration for future access. I'm talking mechanical and logistical type things, so.
Do we still use Dominion voting machines here in Madison County?
No,
Yes, they do. They'll
We
never
do
be
not
integrity.
use Dominion.
It's the same.
Never had.
It's
No.
the same.
Oh, yeah, you have. though.
Same type
You
machine.
didn't even know you could let people in to watch them do the votes.
I was
I mean,
there.
come
They
on,
checked the
20
Dominion.
years. Joe Biden was sitting up here.
They do use Dominion. It's just a sister to Dominion.
Yeah,
Yes.
so you don't even have to
So
be there
as
changing the
far
vote. You can be
as-
across town.
This meeting goes, is there anything else that we need to talk about?
Sorry,
What's going to happen to
Public
him?
comment.
That's what.
Public comment.
You want people to have faith in the system?
Just see if they'll let you go up there and talk.
Did
No.
you schedule time for public comment on this?
It was not on the agenda that I could see.
They change the agenda.
Okay. So can we set a date certain for these findings and recommendations to be completed?
Public comment.
Excuse me, did you get these findings where he submitted? Did he just submit them today?
Yes.
Like, so you haven't had a chance to review them?
No, we have
Who's
not.
he, ma'am? Mr.
Mr.
Joseph.
Yeah, I
John,
can't
yeah,
say his
okay.
last name to save my life.
First time I've
Yeah.
seen him, so
Now,
can
will
we
you,
set a date certain?
We can.
will you be back in this position next time, or will Elaine be back? Will it be the same board?
He'll know everything I said.
Okay,
So-
so he won't. he
It'll
will
be fine.
Okay.
I think 2 weeks is plenty of time to put them together.
Good. I'll have to get with the commissioners to make sure that we can secure this room.
Okay.
And
So
will
we'll
public comment be
republish
assigned?
it as a
They already
meeting
know
of
how
the
they
county
vote.
election board to review the findings.
They're gonna
Time
have to
for
secure
public
this room.
comment? Also?
The chairman makes that decision on public
Well,
comment.
This meeting
Yeah.
wasn't
Vote
published
fine.
48
He's
hours
on-
prior.
I'm gonna check with the elections division to
Yeah.
determine whether
But
there's public comment required at a county election
The-
board.
this meeting wasn't given a 48-hour prior notice. Can they make sure they give the 48 hours this time?
It was posted.
No,
It was.
it was 2 o'clock and this is going on at 10. We're like at,
It was posted
40
at
some hours.
8:05 last Thursday morning.
And you change the agenda.
because we were not notified until 2
Just
in the
moved it
afternoon.
around.
If you're gonna speak, could you please come to the mic and
Yeah.
state your name?
Well, here we go.
There you go.
Okay.
You shouldn't be saying anything.
There's never any
My
notice.
name's Larry Savage. Just this meeting, the integrity of this meeting is really in question because he's the man that's in the middle of this. I would like to ask to have somebody else sit in his place when you guys do vote to get a good, to get a good vote, because he's going to vote against, whatever. So we'd like to have him maybe replaced by somebody else on the board when we do take this vote about the election integrity. I think that would be our next move. And we'd love for you to resign right now if you'd love to do that. But you guys have a good one, okay? So it is
That's not okay.
Okay.
Is that okay with you
So
guys?
I think that we need to,
Is it okay or not?
we're gonna set the date August 5th. And there will be an opportunity after reviewing. I have asked the Elections Division for a definition of canvassing. It's unclear to me, just from reading the statute, what canvassing means. I will tell you there are multiple interpretations of canvassing. Canvassing can also mean going door to door in a neighborhood to
We're not
do.
talking about that.
I know that, but I'm asking for a definition, a legal definition of canvassing as it applies
You
to
all the
statute.
codes are the.
He wasn't allowed to build.
Does it define it? Thank you for telling me that. Thank you.
He wasn't allowed to
Okay.
build.
So do we have a motion to?
May I speak?
Yes, this will be the last speaker.
I'll try and make it quick. My name is Cindy. I live here in Anderson. Thank you for asking questions of Mr. Joseph. Thank you so much for presenting this case. I think a lot of people here would like to thank you personally. I came to the election integrity, what was it called, Rebecca, that you filmed? We all came to watch the machines in operation.
Public testing of the
Public
machine.
testing, thank you. I couldn't think of the right term. And I think there were a lot of shenanigans going on at that meeting. And I think it is proven from a video that Ms. Crooms, she was here also. I would like you to review that video.
I was here.
You were, that's right. You were here. I would like that reviewed. Do you have a copy of that video? Because we were just told these are not Dominion machines, but they are the same as or sister to Dominion machines. So I would like some of this information to be admitted, however that goes. I'm not a judge or foreign, you would know more about that. But anyway, I'm just here to say that there is a problem with election integrity. Devin Norwick also lost by 3 votes. He challenged that. My understanding is he was not able to count the hand ballots or absentee ballots or whatever, where a lot of shenanigans go on. So I'm just here just with the public, a lot of people here from the public, and we want election integrity. So Russ, that starts with you, and you. And I just want to thank you today for asking questions so the public can hear more information. So that's all I have to say.
Cindy, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Okay. So you claim to know that our machines are part of a Dominion machine. Is that my
I
understanding from
did
you?
research. I don't have it pulled up right now in paper.
Okay.
But we were told, I asked Russ specifically if those machines were affiliated with Dominion. I asked him specifically how much you spent, $880,000+, I think 2 years ago on these machines. So I went home, when he gave me the name of the machine, I went home and looked it up, and it said it was made by the same manufacturer that Dominion is made from. So it's like what I call a sister machine or something like that. So I don't have the exact paperwork to give you exact everything, but they are very similar, if not the same, to Dominion.
Okay, they may work the same as far as ballot marking. I am confident in our election equipment. I'm sorry that you are not. We haven't had them that long, but I can tell you that they go through rigorous testing, and it's already gone through the VSTOP program. Our particular equipment has already gone through that VSTOP to make sure that we run very safe and secure elections here. So I don't know what more I can do for you to help build that confidence, but I'm certainly willing.
Are they
So
internet
if
accessible?
I'm sorry, I'm talking to Ms.
Cindy.
Longshot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you are welcome to give me your information. Let me do a more thorough investigation for you, because absolutely, there is not one person on this board that I know about.
She'll give her information
that
off
isn't-
the record. Great.
Their ultimate goal is to make sure that our citizens, our public, is confident in our election. That would be me.
What about the felony?
Okay?
I would like to ask the
What about
the sheriff
felony next to
here,
you?
Sheriff, are guns safe?
Are guns
Or is
safe?
it the human that pulls the trigger? The machines may be safe, but who's running the elections may not be safe.
Cindy, but that's
So-
not what you just said. You said that our machines, you're at least making the accusation that you want fair and safe elections.
Yes, I do.
But the machines that we're using are questionable.
Can be manipulated
Internet.
by
They're not
humans
secure.
who have an agenda
Yes.
for themselves or a broader agenda. The machines, my computer is hacked, can be hacked, and so can those machines.
Yep.
If they're
So
internet
just dig
accessible.
into that a little
They're not
bit.
Who next
internet.
to you has a
That's what
felony,
we don't.
so.
The
So
Dominion
Linda,
Okay,
don't
stop.
you have a passcode, password
Christopher,
where you can
pause it.
enter that machine of some way?
Pause it, honey.
Okay. Yep.
Now listen to me. I have not heard more disgusting crap come out of a clerk's mouth than this. And I'm going to tell everybody this right here. On the day of election, before the polls closed, we were able to gain access to where they start spitting out the numbers of what's going on.
Yeah.
All the people who were running against the swamp, Russ Willis's people, had like exactly 12 votes. And the swamp all had exactly 36 votes or something like that. But we all had the difference between that was even. Now, how is it that I'm going to match Lisa Rinker, Devin Nork, and then Todd Culp is going to match Rick Gardner, John Richwine? Don't tell me these machines were secure, because it doesn't even look like they were zeroed. And yes, we have the documents all downloaded that were there before the polls closed. So how were these numbers being pushed out? And this was at 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. So for Linda to say that they're secured, I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to call, I'm just going to say it. This is fabricating the truth.
Yeah.
Right here, because we have all the documents. Now, I don't know, what minute mark are we at? Does it?
We are at 35:43.
Now, I want everybody to understand that this goes on. Linda spews much more. I mean, she just continues to go on and fabricate. I'm not sure what land she's actually living in at this point. I guess it's Russ's land. However, Mrs. Crooms, I got to give it to her. Mrs. Crooms had had enough. And if you go to the 41-minute mark, you're going to hear how Miss Crooms ends this meeting. Because
what
she
time?
puts,
I can't wait.
She puts 41 minutes. She lays down the law.
41 minutes.
About
Oh,
41
this is going to
minutes.
be amazing, right?
She lays
41.
down the law. We might have to
Okay.
back it up just a little bit,
We'll
but
go
as
to-
soon as she comes to the podium, you'll see
We'll
her.
start at
She
45th.
finally has had enough.
Okay. Oh God, here she goes. All right, everybody, turn it up. Here we go.
Versions against
The Dominions
individuals.
are internet accessible. Somebody across town or in another state can get in there
And you can't
change
just
the vote.
speak from the audience.
Listen, I wanted to say about that video, that's why it's still up. Now, Miss Austin and all of y'all might think you're doing the right thing, but there are several vulnerabilities. You say you didn't see anything, Terry. There were a lot of reports. People were calling me about inequities going on at the polls and with the ballots, like the marking of signing the ballots 50 and 60 ahead of time after they were told not to. And then there was no tracking of that. That became a federal document when you allow those election poll workers to sign those ballots and then send them back uptown and then have no record of them coming back to the polls to be used the next day. The accounting of that. There were a lot of things that went on. I went all the way to Muncie to film the way they did their public testing of the machine. And that video is also still somewhere on my timeline. And it was completely different than the way we were doing it here. You give the appearance of not being transparent. Now, you may think you're being transparent, but like she said, when we had to set up here in the middle of the room, it wasn't until the very end, and I was told several times that I wasn't allowed to film certain parts, and I understand that. But when I went to Muncie, and by the way, Muncie uses election equipment that is made here in the USA. In fact, it's made right there in Indianapolis. The parts to the machines that we use here are still made in the Philippines, but the company is here in the United States. So there's a lot that can be questioned about this process. And what Joe Zwack came here for today is to say Russ Willis broke the law and y'all should be voting on it.
Yes.
I had to file a police report against Miss Willis because he called me at night and told me I better take that video down or else.
Yes.
So don't sit up here and act like everybody doing the right thing and don't know this and don't know that. If you don't know, you shouldn't be up here because there's a lot going on that is not right. And what happened to him that night was not right. I saw the video. He was stopped in the hallway, and that is not how those elections are supposed to be ran. People from the public, you could have had anywhere from 1,000 people up there that night. Indianapolis got 1 million people. You see how they do their elections? People are allowed to come in there and watch the counting of the votes. If you look at how other cities do it, so yes, there's a lot wrong with the way we do things, and people don't trust it. And I'm telling you right now, I don't trust nothing that comes out of this election board.
Absolutely.
Unless you have federal oversight of these future elections, anything y'all do or say is just questionable. Of what I've seen over the 20 years I've been watching. And that's all I got to say.
Thank you, ma'am.
And real quick, I got this. When she was back down and intimidated by Mr. Willis on video, she was asked, she asked you to explain the law to her, and you said it's the Willis statute.
Oh, wow.
So can you explain to us what the Willis statute is at this point in time right now while you're on? Yeah, we really wish
That was said tongue in cheek, and I think
It doesn't-
everyone realized
You
that.
shouldn't
That's
even be
not
sitting
something-
up
this is
there.
America.
This is about him. I mean, if I go before a
Talking
judge,
about
I
one
don't get to
like
sit
that
next
around.
to
You're
him.
good about
and
trying to
whisper in his
intimidate
ear.
people. You don't
That's
have man you can't
ridiculous. You
intimidate.
guys
And
need to
you-
prove there's
You're
integrity
messing with the wrong
and
people.
do something.
And you should step down.
I mean, you can show the video.
I'm gonna
move
They
this.
canceled a couple of
Election
people.
board
We'll
needs to be
associate with
addressed.
him, ladies.
I'll second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Wow, okay. All
Opposed?
right, I see
Meeting
you.
adjourned.
I see all of you, by the way. Just, we all see you.
Hey, Sheriff, you put him in cuffs while you're
Yeah, I mean, what's going on?
Can't you just press charges yourself? I mean, you know.
So I just want to remind.
Okay, so you can see.
So.
I love it.
Okay, now there's one clip that you didn't get to hear, and this is the final part of the video. Kate, can you play that 8-second clip I sent you? This is the best. This happens in the midst of all the commentary that's going on with the people. This little clip that Sean Smith was able to go and find is unbelievable. Russ is caught. If they don't convict Russ, there's going to be an uproar in this county.
Dude, that was amazing.
So, I mean, enough is enough, you know, but you got to hear.
Can you send it again? I can't find it, hon.
It's not in Messenger. Let me see here.
That's exactly GW. It's like a child that got caught with his hand in a cookie jar. And that cookie jar is filled with votes.
So this is a video
My.
that that Sean Smith had found, and what happens is Russ Willis in quote says, We've got to stop this. While all the citizens are starting to speak. So when he finds that Terry really is trying to allow the people to speak, she is wanting to learn. She is wanting to hear what we have to say. Russ Willis turns to his only ally and listen to this. This was during the meeting.
Voting system. Stop this. Let's give a voting system voting system. Stop this.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, we got to. They're making me look too bad. Linda, do something. Well, if you noticed that about at the 20-some minute mark, Russ asked to adjourn. Terry won't give him a second. Linda won't give him a second. And then it just goes on from there. So I'm sure that they got quite the tongue lashing once they adjourned. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
And then once they got to the point where Miss Crooms got up there and she's just calling it like it is, then they knew, how are they going to argue this? But yeah, I mean, for the turnout, the fact that they hold this at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult, but people did show up. I'd like to know, I mean, Todd Culp sat in there, I mean, Rick Gardner ran out when he saw the filming going up. Over here against the windows is the chief deputy for Linda. I mean, the sheriff is in the back watching this whole thing.
Yeah.
We got a problem.
I blew this up. Hold on. Let's look at this.
Voting system. Stop this. Let's give a voting system. Stop this. Let's give.
Here, Terry wants the people to speak, and he doesn't have control over Terry, so he leans to the clerk like, do something with Terry. Well, Terry did the right thing. She listened to the people speak. I applaud Terry.
The Democrats need to kick Tim Linane's ass out of that seat. He is a worthless piece of Tim Linane. They need to get rid of him, and they need to put her permanently in there. I've never been a fan of hers, but I tell you what, she earned some respect today.
She did. She spoke for the people. And here's the thing, on Lannon, he did vote in my favor on that Indiana code. He did.
Yeah.
And then, these two decided to use some stupid home rule, which I'm not even sure they had any logic behind it. But people are becoming more aware of the shenanigans. People are beginning to show up and ask the hard questions. And, I was tempted to get up there, but I thought these guys are doing such a great job.
Oh, yeah.
And then to see Miss Crooms get up on there, I mean, it was just amazing.
My favorite thing in all this, can you remind me, Larry Savage spoke. What is his political affiliation?
So he is a Republican. And he ran against Sparks and those guys for the U.S. Congress District 5.
Okay.
But
Cindy Pinchot talked.
She is a Republican.
Okay. Rebecca Crooms.
And she is a Democrat.
I love that this is bipartisan. That
oh, yes.
Every party across the board sees what is going on here and knows that this is a violation of our rights, and it is dangerous to election integrity. And it's just really beautiful to see that.
Yeah. And so, where do we go from here? How do we get there? Well, I'm going to tell you something, a couple things that should have never happened this morning. One is there is no date set. Yes, they said August 5th, but there's no time. We don't have anything. I'm not sure why Linda couldn't have got up, went right behind that door, because right there's where the commissioner's secretary sits, and say, I need a time for August 5th.
No. You know why.
Right. Well,
why she didn't do that. She didn't want to do that.
Exactly. And that tells you that our clerk is not for the people. Our clerk is truly for Russ Willis.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And people need to understand when you vote and you vote for that type of corruption, you know, the audacity that Linda would say, and you're questioning my integrity? Well, yes. You couldn't follow Indiana code when Todd Culp and John Richwine couldn't initial their sheets. I no longer have any type of faith in what goes on in that building. None.
Yeah, that's,
this is what can we do? And the mere fact that they showed their cards when he looked at Linda, like, do something. You're my only ally. Get me out of this. Well, Russ, she already buried you moments before that by saying you should have been allowed into the building. I apologize. In her mind, that should be what's acceptable. Well, this behavior, that has to stop. You need to follow Indiana code. You do understand. I mean, you can read your home rules. And here's what's interesting. And I know that Linda Smith is watching. I know that Heather Bailey is watching. If you people want to die on a sword for someone like Russ Willis, you definitely deserve to be on
everything that comes to you.
I would never defend this horrid person.
No, listen, Russ Willis.
He will lie, cheat, and steal from you people. He will sell your souls. And the fact that you're going to protect him and not the people in which who voted you into that position, well, I would count my days of being an elected official. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
But that's just how, I mean, and I got to give it to Marquest. He's back out here. He's trying to, do the right thing. He's giving people, options. So I got to give that to Marquest. He doesn't seem to be going and crawling in a hole. I got to give it to him. That's disgusting behavior right there on Russ Willis. Hey, in 23, I'll sign off on you, but in 24, I won't. Well, here's a news flash, Russ Willis and Linda Smith. How many times did you refer to the 23 election? You referred to the 23 election with all this integrity and all this blah, 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 blah. Well, then why didn't you sign off on Marquest that he could run? I mean, you guys cannot have it your way. I mean, this isn't Burger King. You are serving the people. You want your cake and you want to eat it too. And then whenever you want to walk on somebody or it doesn't serve your purpose, you guys come up with these ludicrous ideas.
People don't realize the majority of their elected officials are both criminally, ethically, and morally corrupt. I've been behind closed doors with them and have seen it firsthand in first person. Yeah, this is currently an elected official speaking here, and that is very, very true. Very, very true.
There's a comedian who said every elected official should serve 2 terms. 2. One in office and the second one in jail.
Yeah, I've not heard that. That's hilarious.
And that's all they should be limited to. So, I mean,
I love it. I wish I would have thought of that.
Yeah, that's the big thing. And good for you, Marquest. He keeps getting back up. He keeps bringing it to the table. And you know what? I'm telling you.
Yeah, Marquest, I didn't know you were here.
People.
Yeah, I love it.
I mean, good for him. He didn't, he in the fact that he got challenged again on Friday.
Yeah, Kate, come up here.
Sure.
This dude, Marquest Higgins, got signed off on as a libertarian, and they were trying to challenge him. They were trying to challenge him. They were trying to challenge him, saying, "Oh, you didn't do it right." They were trying to say that the libertarians didn't fill out the proper paperwork. They filled out a paperwork for like a missing candidate rather than filling out as just a libertarian.
Didn't give a 10-day notice.
And they challenged him all the way through. And then when Katherine and others started making hubbub about it and posting, they called and said, "Oh, no, never mind. You've been taken care of. We're not challenging you. We're not challenging you." So Mark West is a candidate. He is a libertarian candidate running in Madison County for what?
He's
County
running
commissioner.
for District 2 commissioner against
2
Rick
commissioner.
Gardner and
Okay.
Ollie Dixon.
Okay, Mark West, you got to kick some serious ass in this, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm counting on you. I love libertarians. That's fantastic.
I do. I give it to Mark West for that he keeps getting back up for the people. That's who he's getting back up for. And here's a news flash for everybody. I don't want to hear one more time from anybody say to me, you're not going to get elected if you keep posting. You're not going to get elected with that behavior. You're not going to get elected with that delivery. Well, here's the thing. I do not live and die whether or not I get elected. Getting elected is the bonus. Informing the people is what matters the most to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
My life is going to go on and it's going to continue to be wonderful and grand, whether I get elected or not. But at least I inform the people of all the corruption.
So this is a good question. I would say anybody, listen, first of all, I want to say this, Ryan Webb and anyone else that's concerned about the Delaware County, I've got like just a few more seconds for the video to upload. We are going to show the video from the Delaware County meeting that happened. It's a short video, but we are going to show it here in just a minute of the Rules Committee for the recount that met today at 4 p.m. So we are getting ready to go through that. But I also wanted to say, and yeah, we will have you on. And yeah, good. I won't tell anybody off the record that you lost 400 on that game. But then lastly, I want to say, John just asked a question, and this is a good question. Can any person file charges against the fraud? Well, just real quick, just a real basic understanding of law enforcement in Indiana. And a lot of people get this wrong because of movies and TV. So in the state of Indiana, citizens do not file charges. The only person and the only grouping of people that can quote unquote file criminal charges in the state of Indiana are prosecutors, deputy prosecutors. So your elected prosecutor of each county is your chief law enforcement officer of the county. Their deputies file charges in the court. They're filed in the state of Indiana. Criminal charges are created off of generated police reports and police cases, police investigations. So an OWI arrest, a murder investigation, a rape, theft, fraud. It's all based off of generated police reports. So in order to get charges filed against an individual for a crime in the state of Indiana, what that would take is a citizen who feels like they have been wronged, filing a police report and picking up that copy of that report themselves, taking it to the prosecutor's office and asking the prosecutor's office to have one of their investigators look at it and see about filing criminal charges in the matter. Now, what's going to happen is this is not a very good, this is not something that a lot of police are going to know about. A lot of police, there's a term they use. It's called RAT. RAT is an acronym, Report Avoidance Technique. They're not going to understand this, and they're going to be like, "Oh, I don't want to civil. I don't want to do that, whatever." So they're going to do a real shitty job. You're going to have to find a good officer to do the report good. You're going to have to get a copy of that. Then you have to take it to the prosecutor's office, and you're going to have to push and fight. But yes, I think that should happen. I do think that should happen, and I think that Rob should be the one. I think many people in Madison County could do this. Any taxpayer could technically be a citizen wronged, but honest to God, it would be the Rob would be the one to do it. And as Cindy has said, the sheriff said, give him a warrant. Well, obviously the people aren't giving him the warrant. Basically what would need is the sheriff's office would need to file a report.
That's what I was just getting ready to say. If the sheriff says he's willing to serve a warrant, I bet the sheriff is willing to file the report.
Oh, absolutely. He is. Absolutely. He's wronged the sheriff. I mean, Sheriff Beeman beat his boy Emery, and
Yeah.
he's done nothing but cause headache and havoc for Sheriff Beeman. And
And
Rich
it would be
Brian
interesting to see. I would be.
yeah,
It
so
would
I
be
mean,
interesting to see if Beeman would, how far he would be willing to go with that.
and I'm
So,
just going to tell people, because I've been in this position,
Mhm.
you have to file with the state police. And I filed with the state police. I didn't get very far, but I did file. Nobody really wants it. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. You can file with the attorney generals. There's a consumer complaint division that you can go right online and you can do that. I will agree with Nicole Johnson, as she said, good luck with the prosecutor's office.
Yeah.
They're fully aware of what's going on. Our only hope is that Andrew Hanna will turn around and say, that's our only hope. I like Andrew Hanna. Our only hope is that Andrew Hanna is young enough that he will turn to Rodney and say, if all of you want to die on this ship with Russ Willis, go ahead. I'm too young. I've got my career ahead of me. I believe in the people. I've got to do the right thing for the people. This is what I went to law school for. I am going to file these charges against Russ. If he does that, because he's going to be running for prosecutor in 26, that will seal his win. That truly will seal his win, because he will show the people, I'm not going to put up with these shenanigans. So we're looking, Rodney's not going to do it. We all know that. Our only hope is Andrew Hanna. And I hope he does it. I hope Andrew Hanna does it.
Well, I would be interested to see that go down. I would be interested to see that.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the whole thing. We've got so much more going on in Madison County. We've got the commissioners sending, and the county council sending certified letters to Elwood, who has fallen officer Chanovez, that they're going to turn off his dispatch if they don't pay money to them. We've got them doing it to Elwood. We've got so much going on right now. I can't even keep up with everything that's coming in. So we've got in Gateway, Rick Gardner keeps getting up there. He's like, oh, we've got 40 million in the rainy day fund. I wish Ryan Webb were over here on our side. We got 40 million in the rainy day fund, or we got this and this, and this is what makes up the general fund, but all in all, we have 40 million. Well, Gateway says we have 105 million. So does somebody want to tell me where $60 million is? They're saying that all these municipalities need to be paying dispatch because they don't have any money. They're all out of money. Well, they get all this 911 money, like on your phone bill taxes.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny, because when they ended 23, they still had over $700,000 left in that account. Now they've got another account that you can only use for dispatch. And at the end of 23, they had over 800,000 in that. That's 1.5 million right there. You don't need any municipalities. And if that money's not there, then we have a discrepancy between Gateway and we have a discrepancy against somebody's pockets. So somebody needs to find some money. We have enough money, according to Gateway, that if they didn't tax any of the citizens in Madison County for 1 year, they still would be able to make budget for that entire year.
Man,
that's how much they've increased it. We pay more taxes than Hamilton County. It's off the chain. So we'll be sharing more. We'll see what August 5th is. People, if you want to help filling those seats, filling those rooms, that's the most important thing in the day. I know most of you work, but hey, if you've got family or parents or something that can come sit in those seats and fill those, that's the greatest thing to show people that we are actively involved.
Yeah.
I will tell you this. If Linda Smith votes in favor of Russ, she better hold on, because it's going to be a long 2 years until 26.
She's voting. Committed. She's voting in favor of Russ.
Well, and that's what she'll show us. She'll show us there's no election integrity anywhere in this county. And if I was a Democrat sitting on that election board, I absolutely would say, clearly, Indiana code has been violated. I'm voting in favor of the people. And guess what? You two Republicans, y'all can kill yourselves.
Yeah,
The Dems
yeah,
aren't coming to this party.
yeah.
We're going to keep our integrity. We're going to walk away with our heads high that we're voting for the people. We're representing them. But Linda and Russ, this is going to be your show here. Maybe you can explain to me why they didn't vote today.
No, that's a really good question.
Both Terry and Linda agreed a violation took place. Why didn't we get it over with?
That's why.
That's
This
why.
isn't
That's
gonna
why.
lose steam.
It's
This isn't gonna lose
because the
steam.
clerk admitted today that a violation had occurred. If they hold off the vote for another 2 weeks or whatever it is that they end up doing, that's not on the same record. And they're hoping that everyone will forget that she said that. So
Okay,
they're not
is
going to
it
come in, they're not going to
where-
rediscuss this. They're going to come in and go, okay, here we are. We're going to vote on this situation. It will be a 3-minute long meeting. We're going to vote on the situation and they'll vote and then they'll walk away.
And this is why you have to fill that room. This is why the pressure has to be
Yeah.
that real.
Wait,
And-
say what, Nicole? Go ahead. Yeah, it is. That's yeah. That's
But
exactly.
people have to show up. That's what it has. I mean, look at Jamie Lynn. I mean,
Yeah.
where's Steve Sumner's? He was an elected official, and Rodney has
so
lost
gross,
him.
man.
You know,
So
now we got a
gross what's going
pedophile
on
running
there.
around.
Yeah.
You know, so but anyways, I wish Ryan Webb the best of luck tomorrow. I hope that he can find that and expose more corruption. I totally am Team Ryan over there. So kudos to you guys for having him. We need one of him over here.
At least we've got him for, depending on what tomorrow is, we've got him for today's July, August, September, October, November, just 6 more months.
Well, tear it up, Ryan. What do you got to lose? Right?
He's
put all the chips in.
Yeah.
Yeah, put all the chips in. I'll
Yeah.
be over here rooting for you.
Yeah.
So anyways, but I appreciate you having me on. Whenever you need more, I'll be happy to share more, and we'll see
Hey,
what
no
August
problem.
brings.
It was great. We've not talked to you in a minute. I'm glad you were on. Glad that went. I think it was listen, today was a big win for you guys.
I think so too.
Today was a big win. Some crazy shit happened and they didn't vote and they didn't do right. And it was a cluster, but today was a big win for you guys. Today, listen, Russ is sweating it.
Yep.
Russ is sweating it. That video of him saying that to Linda needs to be your ringtone. That is the best thing ever. You guys need to blow you need to blow that up over there. He needs to be so sick of hearing that and hearing about that. That is embarrassing.
Well, we got more to come of Russ talking under his breath. So everybody just needs to wait this out and hold on. And it may be a long 2 weeks. If I was the election board, I would have wanted to get this over today. But Linda, I'm going to even make you more famous. I'm just going to tell you, because you should have done right for the people. That's what you should have done today, and you didn't. You allowed Russ to bully his way through. You showed the people you're not for the people, that you're more interested in protecting Russ. So I'll be sure to post about you frequently.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Causing her chaos through that way. Before you roll out here and before we kick over to Delaware County real quick, I do want to read. Someone sent me hold on here. Someone sent me something.
Oh, I can't wait to see what the Herald Bulletin has written about this meeting, because I don't think
I think that's already up. Give me one
I don't
second
think
here.
people were aware that Miss Crooms had to file a police report against Russ Willis's behavior. Who attacks a woman in her 70s? Who does that?
Yeah, that's very gross.
And you remember we were on the phone that night that he was calling and screaming at her.
election board president, Harold Bulletin. Yeah, that was gross.
Because Ken was writing pretty frantically today. I think he learned a lot of new things while we were sitting there having this hearing.
You know, it's really crazy that he's like that, and that he doesn't understand that there's a bigger issue over there, because he could really do some amazing work, but he's such a I don't know. He's a disappointment, just like so many other places, so many other newspapers. Okay, so yeah, there is an article, and it is let me try to get this up here. I want to try to see if I can get this going here. Why can't I get this going? Okay. Do you have access to the Herald Bulletin?
I'm looking right now to see.
Google complaint filed against election board chairman.
Let's see if I can get it.
Madison County Election Board will release results from a review determining whether Chairman Russ Willis violated state election law. Rob Joswiak filed a complaint with the board after he was denied an opportunity to watch the primary vote tally in May. The board will consider what action to take on August 5th following a review of the information provided and state law. On Monday, Willis said state law allows election board to restrict access to maintain security. He said the public and members of the media in the past have been allowed to be in front of the right there have been allowed to be in front of the county treasurer's office to watch the election materials being returned to the Madison County Government Center. Joswiak, how do you say his last name?
Joswiak.
All right, I'm saying it right. Joswiak said on May 7th he went to the courthouse with his son and wanted to watch the canvassing of the returns from the vote centers. He said a deputy told him the courthouse was closed, and during the visit, Willis denied him access. I'm concerned about election integrity, Joswiak said. He presented a video of the interaction at the courthouse and copies of the state law and previous rulings by the Indiana Public Access Counselor. All I wanted was to watch the counting and to make sure it was done properly, Joswiak said. He said Willis violated state election law and open door law. Willis said access is allowed and will continue to be allowed. He said passes were issued in 2023 for members of the public to observe the process. Madison County Clerk Linda Smith, a member of the election board, said Joswiak should have been given access. Ding, ding, ding. I mean, damn.
Why did they postpone it? This just blows my mind.
Wow. We established protocols with a badge. It's called an ID card last year, and it's our responsibility to know who's in the building. Terry Austin, filling in for Democrat Tim Linnane, said that observer badges should have been available on May 7th. It's our responsibility to allow the public to observe, she said. You should have show an ID. Smith, there is always room for improvement. And Smith said there's always room for improvement, and her office will work on implementing better system. The better system would be to get Willis the hell out of the way. He should not be he is a nobody. He should not be making decisions for that building. Willis said he was not aware of the badge system. You violated the law, Josiak said. A lot of people have concerns about election integrity. Austin asked Josiak and others in attendance to provide written suggestions to the election board to improve the system. Larry Savage said Willis should recuse himself from the board's decision because the complaint pertains to his actions. That's just common sense, okay? Following the meeting, Willis said the allegations are unfounded. Well, of course he did, because he's a flippin' idiot. In other businesses, challenges to 2 Libertarian Party candidates for county office were withdrawn when it was determined all the necessary steps were taken. Wah, wah. Mark West Higgins is running for District 2 seat on the Madison County Board of County Commissioners against Republican Rick Gardner and Democrat Ollie H. Dixon. Libertarian Brandon Collins is running for one of the 3 at-large seats on the Madison County Council. Collins will be running against Democrats Rebecca Crooms, Stephen Holtz, whatever his name is. Holtzleiter, Fred Reese Jr., and 3 Republican candidates are Jonathan Culp, Christy Grabowski, and Scott Green. So there is your Madison County paper. Thank you to GW for sending that to me. I had not looked that up. So hold on here. So that's that. So yeah.
Well, there you have it. I mean, the paper says Russ is guilty.
Yeah.
How are we going to fix this time?
Yeah, man.
Without showing us how deep the corruption goes. Because if they vote to protect Russ, if you vote to give him just a little slap on the hand, no, he has to have the felony charge, level 6, in which he violated. Otherwise, no one will have faith in. And here's the thing. There's a lot of people who already don't have faith, but you're going to seal the deal for the people who did have faith in you, that there is no integrity. And in the Linda Smith, there's no integrity on John Richwine. We know this, but I would never sell myself for, I mean, you're guilty by association now, and then you're going to vote for him. You guys are in for a rude awakening. I mean, I can't imagine that Linda Smith is this arrogant that she believes that Rodney is going to find a loophole for her.
It's either that arrogant or that stupid.
I don't think she's stupid.
I don't think she is either, except...
So that's why I didn't say that. If I thought she was stupid, I'd say that.
But here's the deal.
She's just as calculating, but she puts up this, well, I didn't know. Let me wear my hairband like Hillary Clinton. Give me a break.
Here's the thing. She's either very calculating or stupid. I don't immediately go to stupid. I don't do that to people. But I've seen her do some really dumb things that I'm like, there's no way that an intelligent person would do that. So the jury is out, in my opinion, on her. The jury is out on her.
Here's the thing.
But either way,
on how she votes, because see, she showed me her calculating way when I did my challenge with the Indiana Code. She showed me that she is a liar. She showed me that she will manipulate the law. And I'm telling you, if she plays this card to protect Russ, you people will realize she's not this sweet, innocent person you all want to think she is.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think she's sweet and innocent.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's dumb and crazy and bad. And I think
drank the purple Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
These people drink this purple Kool-Aid, just kill me.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, Jamie there, she's known these people for a long time. She's seen them on both sides of the fence.
Yes.
You know, I mean, Jamie has to sleep with one eye open every night because Linda Smith, Rodney Cummings, Childers, they lost Steve Sumners.
That's sad. That is really sad.
Olivia Pratt. She was the clerk at the time. Why wasn't she signing the stuff?
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, it's deep, and I say we just keep moving forward. But I think today was a huge win. I mean, I think we went 2 inches further. While some people might not think that's a lot, I think I think it's a whole mountain that we moved today.
Oh yeah. You guys did a really, you guys really did a good job today.
Yeah. So this will be real interesting. So we'll just keep trudging forward. But good luck to you guys. Good luck to Ryan Webb. And then anytime you don't feel like coming on, let me know, and I'll do the whole dispatch center.
All right.
issue that's
Oh
going
yeah.
on.
We'll get that going here sometime soon.
Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate it. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Very good, very good. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Dr. Katherine Callahan, our what is she? What do we call her?
Our very special super correspondent.
Pain in the
Contributing
ass.
correspondent.
Contributing correspondent. All right, yeah,
That's
that sounds better. I knew it was two things. It didn't. Pain in the ass is like
super duper awesome
pet name for her.
special. Yeah.
Okay, so I've been freaking out, and I've kind of actually been I've really been kind of like dragging it along because I've been trying to get the video to upload. So basically what happened is, because we live streamed the 4.5 hour long event today, I was like, yeah, man, I just don't know about live streaming. I knew I didn't have enough battery. So, and I knew it wouldn't take long. So I went up there and I static recorded the video, and I've got it uploading in YouTube without edits. And basically I was just going to show it to you that way. But it's not letting me show it. So I'm going to do one more thing here and see if I can jump on and post it this way, because it is, it's just a little long, which is always a problem. Give me a second here. Let me see. StreamYard. Let me see if I can share it like this. Where there's a will, there's a way. We will try to figure this out. Give me 1 second here, folks. I've been trying to, the whole time the doctor's been talking, I've been working behind the scenes feverishly to try to get this going. I am going to pause my sound for a second here so we don't get some crazy feedback. So bear with me for 1 second.
Hello.
Okay, that was horrible. And it's still horrible. 1 second. Hey, Kate, can you maybe pop up here for a second?
Sure. Oh,
I
the
figured
joys
you
of
could,
technology.
You could maybe just talk while I do this for a second.
Oh, yeah, sure. I love these blind moments of, hey, Kate, cover down the show. You have no idea what to talk about, but, you know, go for it, which is always a delightful time on my part. Oh, you know, it just keeps getting better and better. We've got, you know, Madison County, we got Delaware County. Randolph County is always a mess, but, you know, it's so much fun. Trivia time with Kate. But it just seems like politics in general here lately is just going to be this glorious clusterfuck. And it's going to be just so amazing to watch, just the fireworks going off everywhere. What do you call a duck on drugs? I'm not even going to try. So what do you call a duck on drugs?
What do you, a quackhead?
A quackhead.
Wah, wah.
Oh, gosh. My 10-year-old, now he's 11. My 11-year-old loves jokes. His latest one that he came up with was, why did the chicken cross the road? Because. He does it much better than me, though, so.
Okay.
Oh, well, Catherine said she can come up and entertain everyone, unless you think you're good to go.
Hold on. Can you hear me?
I'm bringing her up.
Am I unmuted?
I'll sit here and do jokes with you or something.
Am I unmuted?
You are unmuted. We can hear you.
Okay, give me a second here. I'm trying to see.
Kate,
What?
Did you hear that rumor about butter?
What rumor about butter?
Well, I wouldn't want to spread it.
Ha ha. Oh my God. While we're having a breakdown here, trying to get technology.
An albino duck? What's an albino duck?
Where's Ryan Webb at? He could entertain us. See, we can just sit here and just do all kinds of crazy stuff.
Why did Hunter stash his dope? Oh, God.
I have no idea on that one.
I don't know either.
Tell us, Stumblefoot. Spill it.
Yes. This is important information we need to know. Why did Hunter stash his dope?
So Joe couldn't find it? I don't know.
What in hell? Are we waiting for someone to give us an answer, or are we just all guessing still?
Got to keep Dad awake.
Is that what the answer was?
Yes.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
All
What
right,
time's your guys' election thing tomorrow?
Well, so we've got a Delaware County Council meeting at 9, but we have a recount tomorrow at 8:30. We had the election. We had the recount rules meeting this evening, and I'm trying to. I think I might have just got that to upload here. Hopefully, this will be it.
That's good, because I'm interested to know what they came up with, because they were talking about possibly doing an entire recount.
Now, remember, home rules do not supersede Indiana code, only if you're in Madison County.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, when they know that Ryan has a council meeting, why they would put this. So, I mean, I do know why, but I mean, it's not fair that he can't be in both. They could have manipulated this so he could be at both places.
No, they did that specifically for
Oh,
that.
I'm sure they did. It's probably got a hot topic tomorrow just to screw with Ryan. I mean, this is how corrupt this stuff is. You know, Ryan's not going to kiss the ring, people. Have you not learned that by now? I'm not going to kiss the ring. It's not happening.
Yeah.
And Ryan's not even expecting to, win out of the recount. That's what's wild.
Well, then he should do a ta-da, and he should go over to the council meeting and be like, "Y'all can count that. I'm going to go over here and make some noise."
No. He is going to the council meeting. I'm going down as his proxy to the recount.
Okay, good.
So I'm going to be.
What time does it start?
8:30. Oh,
so it starts at 7:30.
Yeah, right.
Bilbrey time.
Yeah. Yes. Man. Where is it? Says it uploaded.
So what's the gist of it? Home rules?
Well, okay, so I guess we'll go ahead and explain it like this, and I can't wait to cut all this crap out for the audio version. So here's the deal. The bottom line is, maybe we'll just have to play it tomorrow so everybody can see it. The election board is not the body that's involved with this. There's actually a recount commission that was put in place. So the Delaware County Election Board is Clerk Rick Spangler, Republican Pete Drum, and Democrat Joe Hunter. And then the attorney is Don McClellan. Well, the recount commission that was put in place is Republican Brandon Murphy, which is a very...
Are you freaking kidding me?
What?
Brandon Murphy?
Yeah, that's good. No, that's good. He's good. He's good. That's who we want.
You just need to agree to disagree.
I thought he was a...
No. Brandon is A-okay. I was very happy to hear that. Brandon is.
I must be thinking of somebody else. I get confused. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Brandon is upstanding, and Brandon's good all the way around. So yeah, I've got no problem with having Brandon. I think no, that's fine. I think he's definitely an upstanding person to have. So that's the first thing. Then the Democrat is Marcel Driscoll. Is that right? I don't know what her name is exactly. She's an attorney, a pretty young attorney. I don't know. I don't really know where she works, what she does. Maybe city court. I don't know what her deal is. But she's there. Tonight was the first night I met her. And then the clerk is the clerk from like Evansville. So he's coming up here from way down there. So the deal is there are 78 there are 78 precincts in Delaware County. Those precincts sometimes are combined into what's called a super precinct. So you might have 3 or 4 precincts in one polling site. So we end up with those 78 precincts in 44 or 45 polling places. Ryan Webb requested a recount in just very specific places. He didn't ask for a total recount. And the reason he did that was there were only a couple places where we thought that there were issues. Number one. Number two, he is a conservative, a fiscally conservative counselor who deals with the financial aspects of the county. He was not trying to just waste money for wasting money's sake. This was not his idea, contrary to popular belief. I know that's the common theory that a lot of people have, that he is, he's just completely, trying to do this because he's, egotistical and he doesn't want to lose and da-da-da-da-da. That's not it. Public reached out. They were reaching out to me. They were reaching out to other people. They reached out to him and they said, listen, there are some issues. If we give you money, we would like for you to challenge this. So the citizens of Delaware County put money together, and he requested specific areas to be recounted. And then we heard back all this time that they might try to push it to do a total recount, and we just didn't understand why they would do that. What was the purpose? Why do that? So they ended up, Brandon made a motion that they just do what was requested. However, so there's 3 aspects of the recount. There's recounting the machine votes. There's recounting the machine votes that were early walk-in machine vote. And then there's the absentee. They are only going to count the absentee ballots of the polling places, the precinct places that Ryan requested. On the machines, they're going to recount what Ryan requested, plus if there are any of those precincts that are tied in with a super precinct, so there's like 2 or 3 extra in there, they're going to recount all of those. So for the same amount of money, Ryan's going to get a few more extra counted, which is cool. So that's what's going to happen. And so that will start. They did say that it's going to take some time. I kind of thought maybe it would be over in 2 or 3 hours. They're preparing for the possibility of this thing taking until maybe into the evening tomorrow. And yeah. So that's really strange that they are planning for that, because the last time I was involved with the recount, I don't think it was anything like that, but they are preparing for it to take a good amount of time. So we're going to be in for the long haul. I'm going to let you guys know, for those of you that are interested, we will be live streaming the council meeting, because the council meeting is going to be taking place tomorrow. It's going to be very important. There's a lot of stuff going on.
When we did our recount, it went on for hours, like hours. We might have even continued to the next day.
Really?
That was Devin Norks. Yeah, because I kept running out of battery and then I couldn't stay. So make sure you got enough battery for your phone, because ours went on into the next. I'm almost certain that we had to come back. It was so long. We had so many ballots to go through.
Really?
We didn't even go through the absentee ones.
That's really amazing, honestly. That's shocking.
Yeah, ours was very long.
So what is the major contentious topic at the council meeting tomorrow?
Yeah, spill it.
Okay. So well, it'll be questionable to see what happens with the salary deal, the because they've introduced it. Now, will Jessica and her people try to push it through? The clerk and the auditor are still trying to get their $2,500, even though it was tabled last month. They just put it back on the agenda like it's never been talked about before. So that's kind of interesting, because it's been tabled now, so it can't come off the table until a counselor brings it off the table. So it's funny that they put it on. There's some issue as far as some question about possibly money for the part-time employee, contract employee from Texas in the auditor's office. There's a whole host of things that are going to be coming up that we have dealt with over the last couple of months, and it'll be interesting to see. Does everybody remember last meeting when they were going to try to fill 2 board positions, and they said they couldn't fill them because they didn't advertise for them, and they tabled it until this meeting so they could be properly advertised? Well, guess what?
They didn't
Piper didn't get them advertised. So they're in the same spot tomorrow as they were last month. So
Isn't there something you can do when elected officials don't do their job? What's that called?
What'd you say?
When elected officials don't do their job.
I call it normal everyday life. But I mean,
No, there's something
duty.
like if they don't.
I mean,
don't reelect them.
Well, that's one thing, but I thought there was something if they're not doing their job, they can be held accountable for that.
No, because an elected official, a constitutionally elected official in Indiana only needs to attend.
Oh, there it goes. Dereliction of duty.
I said that. Did you not hear me say that?
I didn't hear you say that.
Oh, dereliction
like,
of duty.
Isn't there something you guys can do with Piper?
I didn't hear him say that either, Catherine. It's okay. We
Go back
must both be having selective hearing tonight.
Yes.
2:30, 2:29:15.
Let me pull my hair back.
Yeah, right. There you go.
2:29:15. Okay.
Yeah, that's
I'll
probably,
look.
that's about when I said it. I probably.
Okay, Russ.
I'm gonna do this one more time, and if not, then we'll just kill it, and it'll be what it'll be. We'll do the video tomorrow. I hit the highlights. I mean, it wasn't anything major. Oh no, I don't understand why this damn thing.
Nobody screwed up in advertising. They just didn't do it.
What?
Somebody said who screwed up in the advertising in Delaware County,
Yeah.
and I said they didn't screw up the advertising. They just didn't do it.
Well, yeah, they just didn't do it. Listen, it falls on. I'm gonna blame two people. It falls on Jessica Piper, and it falls on Ed Carroll. Ed Carroll's the auditor. He's their secretary. Piper's their president.
Isn't
and
he your
as we
chairman?
know, what?
Isn't he your chairman?
Yeah, he's the chairman, and she's the vice chairman.
Oh,
no conflicts there at all. I'm sure.
Inbreeding all the way around.
Yeah. As we know, in politics, shit rolls uphill.
Yes. Yes.
As Director Dorito said today, Cheeto from the Secret Service said, the buck stops with her. So, but then it didn't.
Yeah.
So,
but my
very
favorite
much.
line in the whole thing was that we have all of these people coming in and testifying. They keep talking about layers of accountability. And all it ends up turning into is layers of plausible deniability.
Yeah,
Great line today.
There was a lot of good things. Someone actually, I couldn't believe they actually said it. Somebody actually told her she needed to get back to guarding the Doritos. I'm like, oh my God, you actually went there. I couldn't
Somebody
believe
also
I
told her
couldn't
that she
believe-
was full of shit.
Yeah, yes.
So are you
Used
posting
that
this
word.
link? Are you posting this link on your webpage
To what?
to this meeting that took place that you're talking about?
You mean the Secret Service?
Yeah.
Already up.
Okay, I'll look.
Yeah, I'll
Listen,
send it
I
to you.
work for a living.
No,
I
you
don't
don't.
sit and just troll your. I don't sit and just troll your page.
What, you don't tell your patients to die somewhere else so you
No,
can
I don't.
I gotta watch
I
the
literally
political
take care
spotlight.
of them. No, I take care of them.
I'm sorry that you're sick. I'm watching the political spotlight.
You
Here's
don't
the pad. Just go
play-
get what you want. And
You
yeah.
need to be playing my show on your TV screens.
24
in the waiting room. In the waiting room.
Yeah,
Mhm.
man.
Yeah.
Like that would make the most sense.
Yeah, I might do that.
So
we've got plenty of episodes. You've got tons of fodder to pick from.
Oh yeah.
You could
Yeah.
fill a day that's just a Catherine day.
Yep. I might have to do
Yeah,
that.
right. Yes. Just a Catherine day.
But this would be a good one, the Secret Service one.
Oh yeah, dude. It's 4 hours.
I was actually
definitely good
really
quality, too.
surprised because a lot of Democrats were talking about gun control. Of course, gun control is going to come up. I was actually really impressed with AOC. She
Yeah. She did. I was really. Yeah.
I
Oh,
was waiting.
pause.
I was bracing myself for it with the gun control and that she was gonna.
She didn't get
but
too crazy.
She
in
didn't.
that.
She didn't get too crazy with it. She made some very good points, and acted in a bipartisan way and didn't say anything nasty. She actually called Trump the president.
Yeah. Now look, there were a couple people that just absolutely completely forgot what we were doing, and they were there on some other mission. Pause. I got to get back. This is a great comment. Jackie, I love Jackie's comments, especially when she's a little spicy. They were busy with Republican Week at the county fair. The hell with county government responsibilities. Ding, 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 ding. I love it.
We're doing that over here in Madison County this week. I guess that's why they couldn't vote.
Yeah, right. They had to,
they had to get
rush
back to
out to the fair.
Yeah.
They had to run out to the fair. When is the Henry or the Randolph County Fair?
It's going on right now.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna look at this.
It might be over actually. I don't remember. Ours is 2 weeks, so
Ours just started yesterday
because it's a 4-H for a week, and then so it might have ended over the weekend. I just know every time I go out to the asylum lately, there's like cars and cars and cars.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it. I think we'll just say to hell with the video, and we'll play it tomorrow. I tried. We'll get it up tomorrow, and we'll play it. I mean, look, nothing big happened. I told you what happened. Tomorrow will be the big stuff. We will be live streaming the county council meeting here at 9 a.m. We will be live streaming. Oh, and hello there, Wanda. The county council meeting is going to end, but we will still stream because they will end and they will go out for a minute and they'll come right back in, and then they will open up to a work session, and they will be in a work session for a couple of hours. So we can just let that stream the whole time. So it is what it is. All right. Well, you guys stick around right till the end. Let me do the end here, and we'll get this rolling. I do want to tell you guys just briefly, this is very important. I'm going to have so much to cut out of this for the audio. I can't even believe it. I do want to make you guys aware of the fact that I need to find it first. I need to find it and make sure I'm right. Yes, I am right. Before we go there, today is, nope, that's not right. That's the 21st. Wait a minute. Where's the other one? Hold on. This one's right. Sorry. That was the old one. I knew it. Today is Monday, the 22nd of July, 2024. That means it is the 203rd day of no response from Muncie City Councilor at Large Dale Basham. That's right, 203 days with no correspondence, no hi, bye, or kiss my ass, no answering any questions, no telling me anything, no giving me any information or being open, transparent, honest, no being a voice for the city, no being a representative. It's like he's a private citizen, not even getting paid taxpayer money. It's gross and it needs to stop. We are in the 203rd day of no response. I will continue waiting it out. I did ask him about going to lunch, and I am waiting on a response. So I've actually emailed him twice in the last 2 weeks. And again, I've not heard anything from him since he took office, since before taking office, really. And that's the end of it. So we will keep track on that. Obviously, I would like to ask you guys to do me a favor. If you're here on YouTube, go through and do this. We are literally up everywhere. The only place that we are currently not is Rumble. And I'm going to start getting us up on Rumble within this next week. So we will then at that point officially be everywhere. We will be on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, X, Rumble, and all podcast hosting places. Remember, if you have listened to this or want to listen to this on the go, or you have friends that you think would be interested in listening to this, but they can't watch the video, tell them to check us out on all major podcast hosting sites. They can find the Political Spotlight at iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, yada, yada, yada. Or we can be found at the home link, which is the Political Spotlight, all one word, .fireside.fm. The link is in the description of each episode. You can find it. It's very easy. You guys take care of yourselves. God bless each and every one of you. And we will see you back here tomorrow early throughout the day, and then tomorrow at 9 p.m. or sometime there around. So keep posted. Tomorrow is going to be an interesting day. We'll let you know. And we'll go from there. You guys have a great evening, and goodbye. You know it, Jackie.
You may have to change the name of the show, Kristopher.
To what?
The Katherine Fan Club.
Yeah. You know it, Wanda. You have a good evening. Take care. God bless.